What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a little Q&A. We have the ladies here in attendance. They're behind the camera, and at least one of them is going to be asking some questions, and we're going to be trying to throw some answers. So, you ready for this?
We're ready.
Have you been preparing?
I have no idea what the questions are.
Freaking terrified of what the questions are going to be.
Yeah, they are what they are.
Well, good luck.
Just answer them honestly and from the heart.
You have one of those?
Well, I like.
Let's go with the first question.
What's the number one item on your bucket list?
Bucket list. Bucket list. Number one? See, I got 3 things on the bucket list, and one of them I'll never be able to do. The 3 things that were on my bucket list, I always wanted to see the space shuttle launch, like in person. The shuttle, I wanted to be there. Never got a chance to do that. They decommissioned it before I was, could get a chance to go there. But I'd have to say, although it's not exactly the safest place to go in the world right now, I always wanted to see the pyramids of Giza.
I think mine would be go take a vacation to the Isle of Man for the TT race. Definitely want to always go watch that.
You are a TT man, huh?
And, what else would there be? I would definitely like to spend 3 months on a sailboat, just traveling.
You would go insane. No internet, no YouTube, no TV.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you go crazy.
My sailboat buddy over there, she wouldn't be. She might go insane.
Yeah, because she's got to be locked on a sailboat with you.
I would go insane.
We'll just leave them here and it just goes. I can do all the fishing I want. You can do all the complaining and bitching you want.
That's what I do best.
I think that covers mine.
All right. What is your go-to comfort foods?
Wow.
Okay, big plate of everything. Comfort food. For me, man, it's a tie. It's either going to be pizza or pasta, because I can eat both for comfort.
Mine is one of two. Depends on if you're talking about breakfast or dinner or lunch. For dinner or lunch, it would be boneless wings and either fries or onion rings. For breakfast, it will be Jenny's biscuits and gravy all day long.
Go-to comfort foods. Huh?
That is.
If I'm really sad, I need red velvet cake.
Yeah, I know.
Red velvet comforts me.
I guess if I was picking a dessert, comfort food would be ice cream all day, every day.
Yeah, but what kind? You can't just say ice cream.
Yeah, I like it all. Well, actually, what is that? Cold Stone's coffee ice cream with Reese Pieces in it and a little bit of whipped cream, I think. That's my favorite ice cream.
Damn, that sounds good.
And if it wasn't that, then it would be Red Lobster's French vanilla cheesecake. Vanilla bean cheesecake. That's what it is.
Cheesecake sucks.
Those are my 2 favorite desserts.
What website is your biggest time suck?
What website?
I think that's the silliest question you've ever asked.
Well, that's tough.
TikTok.
No, it's definitely YouTube.
Without
a doubt. I mean, by hundreds of hours. I also can't watch TikTok on my work computer. If I could watch TikTok on my work computer, it'll probably be much higher.
I go back and forth, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing. If I'm home, then most of the time it's YouTube. But if I'm out at work and I'm just killing 15, 20, 30 minutes, then it would be Instagram.
I mean, I spend a lot of time on Instagram, but nothing compared to what I spend on YouTube. I mean, especially when you find a new channel, a new creator, it's just you gotta watch all of them. That's what I did when I was locked in my room during COVID when I went back to work. We just finally found Jeremy Sires. Freaking spent 14 days watching every video he made.
Yeah, his stuff is really good. If you haven't seen him, check him out.
Do you root for any particular sport?
Football would be my first and foremost. It'd be the Miami Dolphins. Sometimes painful, but and then college football would be right after that, and that would be the Florida State Seminoles. Then baseball and basketball I used to be into when I was younger. Now I'm so busy I don't usually get time to follow it, but I still try to check where the team's at from time to time, and that would be the Boston Red Sox and the Celtics.
Well, for me, growing up in Miami, I'm definitely a full-on Miami fan, but I'd have to say the one sport that I follow the most would be baseball. College baseball is a lot easier to follow now than when I was younger, but I was way more involved watching college baseball when I was
I
younger.
would have saw you more as like a competitive crocheting guy.
I'm left-handed. Nobody's ever taught me to crochet. Everybody gets angry because it's backwards.
I see you as like, tuning into the championships. And
Crocheting? Basket weaving. Underwater basket weaving is exciting. But underwater basket weaving is one of my favorite events. No.
stuff. Palm tree hat making? I could see you getting into that.
No, I want to talk. Shoot, it's funny you mentioned that because one of the things I actually really like getting into that's kind of non-mainstream is the biathlon in the Winter Olympics, skiing and shooting. I mean, I don't ski, I don't like cold, but for some reason, man, that event just fascinates me. But getting back to it, growing up in Miami, man, University of Miami fan all day, all night. Until, our daughter decided to go to University of Florida, and the other one went to Florida State. So got to rep them. Man, as soon as they graduate, going right back to Miami. Again, like he said, just like the Dolphins, man, every year the Hurricanes just make you get excited for a little bit, and I like getting excited, but the payoff never comes out. That sucks. But definitely anything University of Miami, but baseball, college baseball, and then pro baseball.
In fairness, we did just end one of the best seasons we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Arguably. One of
Yeah.
the best seasons.
I lost to Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Shame.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be tall. Didn't happen.
Me. Little ashamed to say, I wanted to be a cop.
Ashamed?
I'm a biker.
Be a bike cop. Wear the tight shorts and the helmet and get the ding ding ding.
I would look good in the pants.
But seriously, I kind of had three things that I wanted to be. Luckily, I was able to fulfill two of them. I always wanted to be a soldier. I always wanted to be in the Army. Shit was not exciting. It wasn't what I wanted. But went through it. Joined the Army. Did that. Wanted to be a writer. Written books. I need to get back into it. I definitely need to get back into writing it because got lots of ideas and need to get those down. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of having an imagination? But I always wanted to be a baseball player. But again, never reached the height. And I couldn't hit a freaking curveball.
What would you say is your best quality?
I'm adorable. I would say mix my adorableness with my natural a-holeness, and it's like this really unmatchable quality, or unbeatable quality, I guess would be the way to say it.
See, that's like one of the hardest questions,
It is.
because what's your best quality? I mean, I don't think highly of myself enough to say it, but I would say the best qualities that I've found in myself are the ones that I'm now starting to see in my kids, like Sean being a dad and just how he just naturally is good at it.
Yeah, you and Sean both are excellent fathers.
And then you have Haley with, how she just picks up school and intelligence and learns things. She loves to learn. I'm always trying to learn something new, always picking a subject and trying to learn something about it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't exactly have the greatest father figures in my life, and instead of continuing that generational curse, I decided to break it and take the example of the fathers that I had and do everything opposite of what they did. Just like, okay, I know it sucked when they did that, so I'm gonna do the exact opposite. Kind of like I annoyed the hell out of all the kids. When the kids were little, I would go into their rooms and talk to them and bother them, play dolls with Haley, play catch with Sean and JJ, usually until JJ, got his finger jammed or Sean got mad. But I always wanted to be a good dad because I wanted to break that, and I wanted them to be good dads too. So I'd say the one that I try to be the best at would be a father, and now a grandfather, which is going to be a lot more fun.
That's probably the one I fail at the most. I mean, I try to be the best father I can be, but you do get caught up in work and other things, and sometimes, unfortunately, those that you love get the most neglect from time to time. But I did always, and I think I accomplished that. I didn't get this as a kid from anybody, and that was talk to them like they're intelligent beings. If they have questions, whether it's I told you to do something and they want to ask why, I have no problem giving reasons for why they have to do things. I think that's a very important part of learning, is learning why you can't do something. And I didn't get that. I got that because I said so. And so you go through life always wondering, why couldn't I do that? What was wrong with it? So I always tried to be different than that. No, I had an excellent dad. I mean, loved me unconditionally. But we all learn. Just like I don't think I'm probably the greatest dad ever. I'm pretty sure my dad probably felt the same way, that he had his shortcomings. And I would probably imagine my grandfather felt the same way about raising my dad.
I think it's got to be a rite of passage, because it's like a couple years ago, Haley took a road trip with one of her friends up to Georgia, and the whole time she was texting me saying they don't know how to road trip correctly. And since we always took road trips,
don't you hate that? There's so many people that don't know how to have a road trip, don't take it as this amazing adventure. They're like, I just want to get there. It's like the trip is 90% of the fun.
Every year we drive to Michigan when I'm home to do it. But I mean, we used to go to Virginia all the time, Michigan. First of all, every time I do one of the drives, I look up landmarks along the route, and I tell stories about certain landmarks and try to get them interested. We have concerts. We have done so many performances of Hamilton in the car. I mean, raucous, amazing performances. And every once in a while, I get guns and chips. I'm able to rap it, which is hard. But Disney performances, all that stuff, and like right now, one of my favorite things is on the way back from taking the girls to dance. When we're on the way back, they always are like, teach us history, teach us something, and I'm like, oh, you give, what do you want to learn? And they'll pick a subject and we'll talk about it. And definitely, like you were saying, questions. I mean, I love answering questions from kids, because they're not asking to be annoying. They're asking because they don't know. It's just genuinely they want to know. I love that.
Yeah, we do a lot of car karaoke from the 80s and 90s. When Jenny and I take road trips.
18 or 19?
Huh?
18 or 1990s?
19.
Oh,
1990s. Man, you're older than me.
well, I was talking about you. You were there when those songs were written.
Yeah, I wasn't. But yeah, we do a lot of karaoke, and she does a great job of DJing, and I try out. She's like the best road trip person. She gets the food ready. She makes sure we're on route and the GPS is on. And if not, then we've mapped it out. She's very acute to the driver needs, and she DJs well. She sings even better. She puts up with my singing, which is probably a major plus, and my dancing. I'm a dancer.
I prep your food so you can eat it.
I know. That's what I was talking about with the food prep. Gets me drinks, but I love dancing, although I am absolutely horrid at it. Music comes on and there's no one around except for her, and sometimes I think nobody's looking, and then I'm a dancing fool and just not good at it.
I mean, I'll say, there's videos of me. Some people have. At the bowling alley after a drink or two, getting a little bit, happy, and Taylor Swift comes on. I tend to, I don't know if you call it dancing. I move to the music. Try to. It's never really, in sync or anything like that. But after a few drinks, I move.
While we're on the subject, show us your best dance move.
Oh, it's hard to do without music, though. You gonna beatbox for us?
This is it.
Come on, beatbox.
This is where it's at.
Yeah, I'm more of a. Man, it's hard to do without music.
I'm gonna need a couple more drinks.
I try to throw
we do that.
a little more arm movement, something a little bigger.
Listen,
up, raise it, let's go.
Listen, I've seen Hitch enough times to know this is your safe zone. No, don't.
No, I'm
Don't
a twirler, a splitter, a drop it like it's hot kind of guy. I can't do any of that.
I was about to say we're
I
gonna.
twerked myself right into the hospital.
I was literally about to say we're gonna take a time out because I need to see this because I've never seen that.
I'd be up hanging out with your wife all day. What happened? He tried to twerk.
Threw out my back.
Broke 7 vertebrae.
Everything's
Fractured
broken.
his femur. Twerking? Yeah, down a flight of stairs. Oddly enough.
Strange enough, there's not even a flight of stairs around here, and yet he somehow fell down every last one of them.
What are you most afraid of, whether rational or otherwise?
Oh, we get real.
Oof.
We get real here, huh? We'll dig deep.
All right, just so you know, I'm throwing a real fear and a ridiculous, irrational fear in there. So if you want me to go first, I can. Why you
I
think
hate this question. It's like, how real do I want to be to the world at large?
Y'all gonna get to know me real quick.
I don't share those kind of things with people.
I work overseas. I have nothing but time on my hands to think about all the bad shit that can happen. Haley drives down from Gainesville back and forth. Bringing Christian all the way to Tallahassee. Sean is living in West Palm Beach, and JJ is Puerto Rican. And it's something, hold on, it's something that I worry about. Not with, the fact that he's Puerto Rican, but the fact that he's 6 foot tall, young man, Puerto Rican, and all it takes is one bad apple to look at him and say that they're scared. So all I do is constantly worry about what happens when I'm overseas, not here to help.
The good thing is JJ doesn't look like a criminal or look threatening. He looks more like a GQ model. So people don't get fear from him when they see him. They think, geez, that's a beautiful dude.
That's why I said all it takes is one person to feel that way, and it could go really downhill fast. And it's always been a concern of mine. And especially being overseas, knowing that I can't be here to do something. That's why when we came on to Sean's accident that day, what are the chances of me not only being home, but it happening just about right in front of us? You know what I mean? So it was. I was glad that I was here and we were so close that we could help. But talking about irrational, so a couple years ago when the movie first came out, Bright with Will Smith, there's a scene in that movie where they have the wand and they're driving down the road, and the elf girl goes crazy, and the wand goes crazy, and they hit an invisible freaking force field. I don't know why. I can't explain it. But every once in a while I'm driving, I'm like, Jesus, I hope I don't hit an invisible force field. That would suck. So it's something that I think about way more than a normal person with a normal functioning brain should. But that is a ridiculous irrational fear that I have.
So is that 2? Did you
That's
list
my
any of those 2?
rational and irrational.
So we doing 2, or we gotta do any of them?
You can just throw out your whole fear
All right.
list, man.
The first one is stupid. I don't know why it's a fear of mine. It's super basic. I have a fear of ladders. I'm a large fella. When I hit the ground, it's a lot coming down. And I'm not afraid of going up a ladder, being on a ladder. I'm afraid of falling. The ladder giving out, which I've had happen. It slip on the asphalt, you know, twist wrong on the tree when I did trees. And yeah, it's a fear. I hate ladders. I don't have a problem with heights. I can stand on any building as tall as you want, lean over the edge, no hands. I'm fine. But man, you put me on a ladder, I'm scared to death. It's only 6 feet off the ground. I guess a second fear would be the thought of anything happening to any of my kids that would remove them from my lives or my life. That would be a huge fear. The other fear is, and this one's just an insecurity fear. It's I have dated a lot in life and been married a couple times, and I just have I have this fear that I have a shelf life in relationships, that I got like a 4 to 7 year shelf life, and that's pretty much it. I've never found anybody that sticks around longer. Now maybe I've just I'm at the firm belief now that I just have had a bad picker up until this point. I've just settled for
He said picker. Pick.
yeah, not pecker,
Yeah.
picker. You know,
Although, I mean, I don't know. It might be a bad pecker too.
it might be, you know.
Speaking of, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
A magical pecker.
Huh.
Right? Is that weird?
No, I mean, if that's what you want your superpower to be, I mean, a magical pecker. Are you going to use it to, you know, subdue?
You could do it for anything. You could make money with it. You could
Put it to
have
work.
a successful relationship with it.
It cures blindness.
It might. It's magical.
Might cause blindness. I mean, what are you going to do? If someone's robbing a bank and just wrestle them with it?
Well, maybe just leak on the floor and they all slip and slide around until the cops get there. All right, enough of that. Stop it. Behave, people. This is a family show.
If your kids are watching this, you picked the wrong show.
Look, you looked at us and said, I'm going to let my kids watch this. You were wrong right there.
So I would say if I could have a superpower right now, it would be able to kind of like Nightcrawler, just transport back and forth instantaneously. That way I could go to work, I could work overseas, and as soon as my day's over, I could go to my room and just boom, transport back here. We could do a video, have dinner with my family, and just be here. However, being able to be taller sounds nice. Be able to reach the top shelf of the freaking bar. To be able to say, oh, I want to get this bottle of Balcones down by myself without having to get the freaking stepladder or ask him to get it. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, that's because your best friend's an a-hole. And he built the shelves to fit him instead of you. I should have just went to Walmart, got a bunch of, you know, like them shoe racks for your closet. That way they'd all be down at his height. But I didn't.
What are people most surprised to learn about you?
That he's my bestie. They love hearing that. They're like, oh my God, really? It's like, yeah, he's my bestie. They love hearing that. And he loves knowing that I say that.
Most surprised to learn about yourself?
Someone else is surprised to know about you.
Well, I would say that nobody's surprised that I know how to cook well, because I look like I eat well. I don't know. What are people most surprised to learn about us?
No, I think people are surprised to learn that I'm less serious than they always take me for. I joke more. Most of the time, if I'm talking, I'm screwing around or I'm joking or I'm giving somebody a hard time. Very rarely am I serious. where I am, you'll know it. But I think a lot of people just view me and they just think I'm kind of like
Asshole.
just a very strict, very disciplined, very hard guy, and I'm not. I'm just a big teddy bear.
Till my ass walks over and says, "Is my bestie here?"
And one thing at work, one of the things that I think surprises people is when I give everybody crap. I give everybody shit. I give you shit. It's just what I do. And when you do that to someone you work with, and I never realized this until I started seeing myself on video a little bit. It doesn't look like I'm having fun with it. It sometimes looks like I'm mean about it. And the truth is I'm not. If I'm not giving you crap, then I don't like you. If I don't like you, I don't talk to you. It's just that simple. I just avoid you or just ignore you.
What about the fact that you guys are really smart?
Oh,
Yeah. That I don't think that's ever come across
No.
as a surprise.
no. When people hear about how far I went through school and they get to know that I'm into bikes and I'm a truck driver, they don't assume I have any kind of deeper intelligence or like known facts. And I mean, shit, you're even more book smart than I am, because I'm more just, this is what I was born with, intelligence, and have developed over my life. I don't have a lot of schooling and stuff like that. It's all just self-taught.
See, I would say, I mean, I'm an air traffic controller. That in itself, a lot of people have, preconceived notions that an air traffic controller is, smarter than they necessarily are. A lot of air traffic controllers, it's just spatial reasoning to be able to understand in 4 dimensions where aircraft are. Once you're able to visualize that, air traffic control is easy. However, I would have to say, one of the, I think, comes as a surprise is as stupid as decisions I make in life, I give some pretty damn good advice.
Well, like, you do. I think dads do in general. I think people who've raised kids give pretty solid advice, especially people who've lived and had
Made
good
mistakes.
relationships, bad relationships, good jobs, bad jobs. Yeah, made mistakes. I think that helps with your ability to give good advice. I think, to me, some of the surprising is I think it surprised all of the kids, especially Haley and Sean, who are highly intellectual themselves. It surprised them how smart I am,
You just
considering.
call JJ dumb?
No, I didn't call any of the others dumb. Look, here's the thing. All the kids are smart.
They really
Some of them lack a little motivation in life, but they're all smart.
very smart.
But like Sean and Haley reach out to me to do trivia and things that they know I'm good at, that nobody would look at me and think, oh, that guy's good at trivia and that guy's good at, like, finding stuff and doing that kind of stuff. Especially since I finished 6th grade and I took a GED when I was 20. They just don't expect you to have any deeper thought or any deeper, just a manual labor guy is what they assume. I think the second thing people would probably be surprised, and I think my own brother's even surprised with this, is my artistic ability.
Yeah.
Whether it be drawing or photo taking, or the fact that I can look at a car or a motorcycle and it's something your grandpa would drive or just something you would never want to buy, and I can see what you can change on it to make it the slickest thing on the road. I just have always had that ability to just see the potential in every vehicle.
And like, I'm a talker. I talk a lot. So I think when people find out that I have an ability to write as well, it doesn't surprise them much. I think every once in a while I surprise people. I'm taking a little bit of time off at the gym. There's some stuff going on in the world that's changed my schedule a bit. And I spent a little bit extra time at home recently. And I keep saying I'm going to start going back to the gym, and I keep finding excuses and reasons not to. But back when I was it November? November, when people are seeing me, pull almost 500 on deadlift and squat over 400 pounds and bench press over 300, comes as a surprise.
What do you think is the most
Yeah.
surprising thing that you found out about us upon what you initially thought about us?
I would say your knowledge. You both are really smart in different ways. You come across joking and, silly all the time. But the more that you talk to you, the more subjects you both are really knowledgeable in. Jeffrey's really smart in history and politics and religion, and you just have a knowledge of a lot of stuff, a lot of random things, including history and produce, and just general life experience has taught you a lot, and you're able to, both of you, to teach that information to other people.
What would you say?
I think one thing give me one second. I think one thing that surprises everybody, you brought something to my mind when you were talking, is nobody thinks that I would be a person who does so well at understanding human nature and the way people behave and act and how they think, because I think that's probably the things that surprise most people is I can predict a movie, how it's going to end, way before I'm
Yes,
even
you
into
ruin
it.
every movie.
Yeah, she says I ruin every movie because I start telling her what's coming up next or who somebody is in the movie.
And
to
he's
the
always
plot,
right.
And she
Sound
hates
familiar?
it.
That's the right.
I
Randy.
also can understand anybody from the mentality of a successful person to the mentality of a serial killer, to some level. I'm sure I'm not perfect in every regard, but I just get human behavior. All right, Amanda.
The way you're both supportive of like everybody.
We don't look supportive.
Well,
I thought we looked kind of like a Wonder Bra over here. Couple of fun bag holders.
You are extremely sensitive, even though you sometimes play tough, mean guy. You guys both have really sensitive hearts and very large hearts. You take care of a lot of people, and not everyone knows that. When they meet you for short term, you seem like jokers or a-holes, and that's not who your true selves are. That's definitely something I know has surprised people when they've gotten to know you.
Yeah, I tell you, I got a coworker who I met one time in a year, and we joke about it now. But when I first met him, I met him one time, and after that, I couldn't pick him out in a crowd. I just didn't know who he was, and he tells stories about how we would be riding in an elevator together, and I just ignored him like an asshole, and I didn't know who he was. And a year later, we're really close. We spend a lot of time chatting and talking, going to the gym, and he was like, "I thought you were an asshole," and I was like, "Thank you."
What is a place that you've traveled to for work? What's the best place you would say you've been to
The
for work?
best place
As far
for
as
work?
or
Yeah.
as like
Where
a
has
place
work
you would want to
taken
go
you?
back and.
Where is work taking you that you enjoyed being at? A location, a state?
Nowhere.
Having had Nordic heritage, I think I always have had kind of like a wandering, traveling spirit. So I pretty much love everywhere I try. If I'm traveling, I'm probably my most happy. And with trucking, I've literally been to every state in the U.S., barring Alaska, and I've been throughout Canada, all doing that job, and I find all of them amazing in their own right, except for maybe Jersey. And nothing against the people or the place, it's just I have this belief that every trucker has a nemesis state, and it's the state that no matter how well planned you are when you go in it, you get lost, you can't find your way in and out, everything's
Ohio.
confusing. New Jersey's always been mine. It's the one state that every trip that I've ever hauled in or out of Jersey has been a nightmare. So it's hard to really have embraced and love a state that you've had nothing but bad experiences in.
I'm not a trucker, and I'm number one in picking Ohio. Ohio is my nemesis state. Bella almost got me beat up in a Waffle House.
I'm
one
from
morning.
Ohio.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. So
Originally. I grew up in Florida, but
what the best? I mean, for work.
So you've been to Dubai, and I know on TV, every time I've seen Dubai, it
Looks
showed amazing, rich culture, huge buildings, like architecture. Have you seen any of that in your travels?
Oh, I mean, I've seen some really cool stuff. I've been to cool places, but Dubai is nice if you have. I have a lot of kids, a lot of freaking kids. So I don't have the money to go to like the ice bar or to go skydiving or go to the indoor ski place or I don't dive, so I can't do. I can't do. I mean, it's expensive. Everything about Dubai is expensive, and where I stayed in Dubai because I worked for a company and they put us up in hotels, it was not nice. I mean, sorry about the truck. Oh man, that was a perfect. Oh, sorry, I have gas moment, and I just totally missed it. Damn. I mean, you step out of the hotel where we stayed at, and instantly you're approached by 5 or 6 people saying, "You want a girl? You want a girl?" It's like, no, I'm good. It's like, "Oh, you want a boy?" It's like, "No, dude, I want to be left the freak alone." I'll say, Turkey is nice. Turkey was actually really. I saw some really cool stuff. The open outdoor market, the churches, the architecture. Going across the bridge, you go from Europe to Asia. That's pretty cool. However, I missed the attempted coup a few years ago by 12 hours. And when I got to the hotel, the bellman said, "Don't leave." So I guess there was stuff cooking in the air. And then I missed the old airport attack by a day.
So not a lot of over traveling positives. Yeah, but you had a haircut somewhere that you just
Oh,
tell
the
me about
Turkish
all the
haircut.
time.
All right, we're saving that one because that story is, whoo, the Turkish haircut. I was not ready or expecting what happened with that. Oh my God, greatest story ever.
Travis, what about you having something that's no longer allowed is driving your truck over the dam?
Oh, the Hoover Dam.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to drive my truck over the Hoover Dam, which was right before 9/11. I had just gotten my own truck when I got to do it, and probably within a few months after I got my own truck, from my trainer's truck, they closed the Hoover Dam down to big trucks. After 9/11, it was no longer allowed to cross. You had to find alternate travel. Now, I don't know if they've since lifted that, so don't call me on that one. Or if you do, whatever, we'll talk about it in the comments, because it's interesting to know if they have lifted that ban. But they made it to where you couldn't. And it's intense because you think, oh, it's just crossing the dam. Why would that be so impressive? Well, the impressive part is you're 70-some feet long, and you have to go through there day or night. And there are at least 2, and it might have been 3 blind turns around cliffs that if you don't swing out into oncoming traffic, you will hook the side of the mountain with your trailer and tear it up and do damage to the mountain and to your truck and possibly hang up and be stuck there. So you literally have to blow your horn twice, swing out into oncoming traffic, and hope and pray nobody's coming the other way. And if they are, that it's not a long line of them and they're not moving fast. So it was an intense experience.
Yeah, most of your trucking stories are.
Nah, trucking, I did it for a long time. It is quite fascinating.
Would you say that you guys are extroverts or introverts?
I am the most introverted extrovert you'd ever meet. I can talk to anybody. I have no problem talking to people. I love meeting people. Very outgoing, tend to be the center of attention whenever there's people around. But I prefer to be home, prefer to be in my group, in my little comfort zone.
Which is odd because I think I'm pretty much the same way. Like, up until I became a truck driver, I would say, if you ask anybody that knew me back then, I was an extreme extrovert. I always loved to be around friends. I just wanted to be at parties and hangouts and get-togethers and meet new people and talk and just always be doing. Then I went into trucking and spent many years driving truck where you're all you see for weeks on end. And then even during training, it's like one other person that you deal with on a daily. And then a couple times a week, you might see other people. So you become very okay with being alone and being in your own thoughts and not dealing with people, which then leads to a lower tolerance of people. And I think that I find now that I'm over-the-road trucker, that I'm an extrovert and an introvert in the fact that I don't like most people, but I could be around the people I do love 24 hours a day. Like they can drop in. Jenny and I have an open door policy. Any friend or any family member can show up at the house and they can just walk in. They don't have to knock. They're always welcome. If they're hungry, we feed them. If they want to just hang out, have a drink, we do it. And we have that with all of our friends, all of our kids and family. Even the kids' girlfriends and boyfriends are always welcome in the house at any time. So I'd say we're introverts to some degree, but also extroverts. Like I can talk to strangers without a hitch. Even though I tend to know, and the thing is, I'm the type of person, I tend to know if we're going to be friends from decent friends within the first 15, 20 minutes of meeting you, lifelong friends within the first day of knowing you.
Alright, if you took me on a tour in your hometown, where would it be? Now, both of you having grown up in Florida since you were young, that could be your hometown of Florida or prior to where you were born.
You or somebody.
Anybody.
Amanda. Say Amanda.
So like,
and I would take you.
It would make a lot more sense for me to take my wife, who that necessarily hasn't been there, than you, who's been everywhere I've been.
Like for me, if I took you back to where I grew up, the places I would take you is like,
Ding, 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 Ohio.
I take you down to the swamp and the creeks, and I teach you how to make the moonshine in the back mountains in the woods. We go to the holler.
We catch them mud bugs.
I would take you
I don't like cooking them. I
to
just
the
like
school.
chewing them.
Bruh, I'm getting angry over here, man. No, I take you to like the school I went to and grew up in, the town that a lot of my relatives live in, and I was born in the hospital. I can take you to, and I know you'd enjoy this, some of the ice cream parlors that we used to do Sunday drives to with my parents that are just, the last time I went, they were still there, and they're just, there's nothing like that down here.
But it's hard because, I'll say this, there's parts of my childhood when I grew up and stuff like that I don't want to even think about. I left Miami for a reason. I wanted to get out of there and didn't want my kids to grow up there and go through any of the stuff that I had to go through. So, there's that, but there's a couple places I pick out, like, we've gone to Aventura Mall, showed where I worked, and went to the beaches where I used to go to. Not all of them, but some of them.
You mean you had a job at one time that you actually had to work at?
I worked at JCPenney, man, and I actually worked hard.
Like 4 hours? Like a normal job?
Man,
like a normal person?
So, yeah, when I joined the Army, we went back to Miami to visit family, and we went to JCPenney for some reason. And my manager was still there, and the person working the register was having trouble, and the manager who worked there said, turned around and was like, you need him to go back there and show you? I guarantee you he knows what to do. Yeah, I actually had a job. I worked security, I worked JCPenney. Yeah, it's a little crazy, I know.
You have 3 jobs.
Yeah, I did. I was a waiter.
How was that you got paid to YouTube? Huh.
He was a waiter, security guard, and worked at JCPenney, so rotated them.
And
2 security jobs at one point.
And I started as a telemarketer.
They did.
And all I got out of it was an ex-wife.
And some free comedy tickets.
He wasn't old enough
I
to
wasn't
come.
old
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I was 17.
You cradle robber.
All right, last question. How do you picture yourself in 10 years?
The thing is it's weird that, because like, where do you think you'll be in 10 years? That's hard to say. I know where I want to be in 10 years. I don't know where I'll be in 10 years because I have no idea what this country is going to be like in 10 years. With the way things are going now, with the economy and the government and everything, I just don't know where we're going to be in 10 years. So all I can do is speculate on where I'd like to be in 10 years. And I would like pretty much the same thing. I'd like all of us together, having a big barbecue, all the grandkids here, and hopefully it's a plethora by then. Out throwing the football with the kids, teaching them how to wrench on the motorcycles. Hopefully by then we'll have a little property and some dirt bikes, and they'll all be learning how to ride at different stages because I am building my own club. That's what I'm doing. it's slow going. I got 2 right now, but I'm working on a 3rd. And I gotta promote a few more. But I want my grandkids growing up to at least to have the understanding and love of motorcycles, whether or not it's their thing. You really don't know until you do it, and that's when you learn. Like my son, I to be honest, I never thought my youngest would be the motorcycle kid in the family, but right now he's the rider. He is the motorcycle kid. He has gently laid it down twice from new guy learning. You know, tapping the front brakes on wet pavement a little too hard. You know, stuff like that. Nothing where it hurt him more than a few scratches. But every time he picks the bike up, he continues going where he's got to go, and next day he's back on it. So, and he seems to love it. So that to me that's a win as a father of your son, to love your passion and get it.
I would definitely like to be in a position where we can work for ourselves, have the ability to provide for ourselves and our family. You know, a couple businesses or something like that where we make enough money where
It'll definitely get you back to the U.S.
where we don't have to work for somebody else.
Sucks when you gotta wait for your drinking partner to come back for 3 months.
Does, especially when he sends you pictures of, oh, look what I did to the
Especially
bar.
when he's a basic bitch and he gets jealous anytime I say I'm gonna have a drink with another dude. Thinks he's gonna lose his bestie standings.
You have no room to talk, sir.
He's a work friend.
Sure.
All right.
Wait, what is this I hear? You've got a work bestie? This is bullshit.
Steve, we're talking about you.
I enjoyed asking y'all questions. You have a good time?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and hey, if you guys have any questions, we can do this again. Just throw some questions in the comments. We can collect them, and we can do another one. Eventually, we'll start doing some lives where we're gonna get more people involved. Try to be a little bit more lively. We were told that some of our other videos were a little dry.
Well, that's in the future. That's one place we want to go. If we get enough followers, we're hoping to do some live shows, and one of them that we want to do is a live.
If like
a
and
live
follow, comment, and become one of our community, and make this dream come true.
And I believe they say, smash that bell.
Oh yeah, so you can get notifications when our videos come out. So with that being said, all right, I'll wait for my drink for a second. With that being said, we'll go ahead and close out, and more videos to come.
Shiny side up. See you next time.
Peace out, guys.